Well, meantime, Russia's front line in Ukraine is collapsing as Kyiv's forces continue to push invading troops back even further. Footage from over the weekend shows firefighters battling flames at a thermal plant. Meantime, growing fears of an impending nuclear disaster at Europe's largest nuclear power plant as international investigators scrambling there to get that plant back online. NewsNation On Balance anchor Leland Vittert now joins us live. Leland, we just spoke with you on Friday. We were talking about Ukraine's territorial gains. Talk about what has changed since Friday.
Roughly an area 3 or 4 times the size of Manhattan, Nichole. We're talking about Ukrainian gains just in this area on the eastern side of Kyiv, and then a little bit down here. You're hearing a lot of excitement, if you will, over these gains, and certainly it seems as though there's something to be celebrated. We can't independently confirm what territory was and was not taken, and obviously a big part of warfare is the information war, but it seems pretty clear that the tide has shifted from the Russians who were advancing now to the Ukrainians, and it seems as though the Russians were caught quite off guard. It's unclear how significant any of these gains really are. There was a number of POWs that the Ukrainians took, and the Russians allegedly left behind a lot of equipment and ammunition. Whether that's anything more than just a good couple of days of publicity for the Ukrainians will actually make a strategic difference, we're still a long way from being able to figure out.
Well, Leland, you know, we've certainly seen many reports on the toll this is taking on the Ukrainian people. But what about the toll on the Russian people? There are now some reported calls from Russian officials calling for Putin to resign.
And you have to wonder exactly what the life expectancy of those officials are. Over the past couple of months since the war in Ukraine began, the death rate for people who dare question Vladimir Putin seems to be going up by a shocking percentage, as evidenced by the fact that just a couple of weeks ago, the head of one of the largest private energy companies in Russia that had spoken out against this war and against Mr. Putin mysteriously fell out of a hospital window where he was being treated to his death. So interesting. Again, probably not all that significant in terms of what Vladimir Putin is going to do, with the exception of what he might do to these officials. You might remember in the beginning of the war, there was all this hope that there was going to be protests in Russia and somehow this was going to be a big uprising by the Russian people against this war. None of that really has materialized.
Yeah, that is true. More than 6 months later. All right. On Balance anchor Leland Vittert, we thank you. Well, meantime,
thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.